I made a video today that was because something really cool happened, very synchronistic. And synchronistic things happen to you when you open yourself to them, when you let go and you transform by letting go of all of the things that tell us that there isn't magic in this world. Like when we let go of all of the lies and all of the programming and the training that we've had put on us since we were born. We see magical things, a lot of us, when we're little kids, but it gets shut down by the adults around us. So I saw something really magical, but I didn't get to post that today. I've been doing a lot and under a lot of stress lately, lots of things going on, and also exhaustion. So I didn't end up posting that video today, but I'll have to post that later. It was funny. But I'm thinking of Dolly Parton. So I don't know, was it today that she passed away? And I saw she was 80, which is like 8, infinity, and a 0 beginning. What a beautiful and amazing woman who has set her own trends. She is a perfect example of Transformation Tuesday, soul transformation, transforming ourselves by letting go of the things that aren't ours. And you know what? She did not let other people tell her what to do. She did her thing. She did not bow to anyone. She like spoke her mind, and she was funny. And it actually, I just now remembered, I just made a video with one of her sound bites. Um, I don't know, in the past month, and it's when she's talking about how she doesn't really get angry very often, but when she does, it'll be a good one. And I'm like the same way. So she's just a woman who didn't worry about people making fun of her. She didn't worry about what the world thought of her. She did her thing. She was confident in herself, and she allowed her soul to sing. She allowed herself to be herself. She allowed herself to let go of the world's um, rules, restrictions, their judgments, their shaming, or whatever they would do to her, right? And she sang her heart out, and she was talented and beautiful, and she had her own style, and she didn't worry. So I think this is so perfect. Thank you, Dolly, for everything. Like, what an amazing lady. Like, what a great example of living your life to the fullest, of being positive, looking on the bright side, being happy and laughing and being herself and encouraging others and doing beautiful things for other humans. And, not just being a pushover. Yes, she's sweet. Yes, she's nice. Yes, women, we can be nice. We can be kind. We can be compassionate. We can be soft. We can be gentle, nurturing, but you know what? We're not going to be pushovers. So she's a great example to show you stand up for yourself too. You don't just roll over and let people walk all over you. You stand up when you need to stand up, and you say something when you need to say something. You stand up for what you believe. So what a perfect example. So Transformation Tuesday, you don't have to change who you are. You have to let go of who you aren't. Let go of the worry of what others think, the worry of what your parents will say, the worry of, oh, am I gonna what's gonna happen if I do this, and this is, am I gonna get outlawed? Is everyone gonna think I'm this horrible person? What are my kids gonna think? What is the church gonna think? What is God gonna think? I mean, people worry so much about all these things that, you know what, they're indoctrinated into us, and most of them don't even matter. And especially what other people think doesn't matter, because you know what? You're living your life, they're living their life. If they make fun of you, whatever, they're going to go on and live their life, and you're going to be we're the ones that suffer. If we don't do what our soul wants us to do, we're the ones that are suffering. And that's why so many humans are suffering, because we aren't letting our souls be free. We aren't unbecoming what we aren't. We're staying trapped in lives that were created for us, trapped in rules and restrictions that were put on us that aren't for us. They aren't who we are, but they're put on us, so we suffer. That's why so much of the world suffers. That's why so much of the world is struggling with addictions. And addictions can be everything. I'm going to go meet with a sober house, men's sober house tomorrow. I'm excited for that. But that might be alcohol, it might be drugs. But if you're over shopping, overeating, eating too much sugar, like I do too much sugar or junk food, if you're constantly being with people all the time, if you're constantly on your phone, a little bit guilty, but usually working on things, if you're constantly shopping, if you're gambling too much, if you're watching porn, if you're sex addiction, all these things are addictions. Almost every human has an addiction. Overworking, working all the time. I'm a little guilty of that. So these are all addictions, and we're just trying to fill a void. We're trying to fill a void, something that's missing, because our soul is not being able to express itself fully. So we're finding ways that we can feel good. What's a way we can feel good? How can I make myself feel good? So instead of filling it with what our soul is asking for, we're filling it with other things. Too much TV, too much sleep, just all kinds of things that humans can do to we're just trying to make ourselves feel better. You don't have to feel bad. Don't feel guilty. You don't feel shameful. Just realize you're trying to fill a void. And this is what I'm going to share with the men tomorrow is that, whenever we're filling voids, you don't have to feel shame. You have to look and say, why am I doing this? Why am I filling myself with this drug, alcohol, over shopping, overworking, all these things, and then realize where it's coming from. And the root is usually something's missing. We're missing love, we're missing connection, we're missing our own love, self-love, self-compassion. So we're numbing ourselves and things like this. So, anyway, all that to say, yes, be ourselves. Don't let the world take us down because, you know, it's not going to matter what other people say. If we miss out on our life because of what other people say, they're not. My video cut off. I'm ready for bed, but they're not going to care. Nobody's going to care. In the end, when people do their thing, usually they're praising you later, like Dolly.